Thank you for joining me today on this webinar. I've spent most of my career working with schools to either create or enhance their brand and showcase it on their campus. I have the privilege of working with a very talented team of creative minds, and we work every day to help schools with their branding needs. And this has helped us become an expert in the field of school branding. I've seen firsthand how a strong, consistent brand can make an impact for students, faculty, and the community. Today, I'm going to share a couple tips on how to create a strong brand with logos, mascots, and colors, and how to deploy it across the campus to give it that college feel. Having a strong brand is very important. A mascot, logos, and colors and values serve as the foundation for the narrative which the school is about. Your logo sets the stage for what you're trying to communicate to students, parents, and staff. These fundamental elements will be on signage, apparel, letterhead, landing pages, etc. It's important to have a strong and marketable brand identity. A school brand is not just a logo. A strong brand creates a feeling and fosters brand loyalty. It's making an emotional connection, and when there is a feeling a brand creates in people, it becomes most effective. When you see your mascot initials, logos, and colors, what do you think? What does your brand say about your athletes? And what does your brand tell your athletes to think about themselves? We see increased engagement of school spirit and participation when a strong brand is implemented. When I think of my high school, we had no branding on the bleachers, walls, or windows. The campus looked like these photos, completely bare, a lot of beige, a lot of blank, and a lot of white walls. When you think about the college or university you attended, what comes to mind? I visualize walking into the athletic area and seeing the school name, the colors, the mascot, the pride of who we were. It wasn't somebody telling me who we were and the pride I should feel. The university put a lot of thought and planning into the logos and the visual branding on campus. The mascot and logos I saw all around me, I could also buy on product in the student store, and they all had the same, the mascot and colors and logos. Everything matched, which is very important. Consistency fosters an environment of trust. When my husband and I travel on vacation, we like going to colleges, university, and pro arenas in the area. Of course, I like to go for different reasons because I want to see how they showcase their brand on their campus and their buildings.
We went to UCF one time, and all the directional signage had the mascot and logos on it. It was everywhere. And when we walked on campus, students, faculty, everybody, I don't know if I saw one person that didn't have something UCF that they were wearing. It was a hat, a sweatshirt, a backpack. I mean, shoelaces, water bottles, you name it, they had everything with UCF on it.
We kind of stood out at the time because we weren't wearing anything UCF. We were standing by this fountain.
Is where they use this area for homecoming and spirit weeks, and it's a place where they really engage spirit and excitement about the games coming up and what's going on campus. You could see the excitement in this professor, and I could just tell if the staff feels that way, the students are going to feel that way too.
It was exciting to see a living example of a powerful brand on the UCF campus.
When we talk about the power of a brand, when you see a logo, it should bring some type of emotion. It may be a sense of pride, indifference, or it may be your rival school. No matter what, though, you recognize that brand for what school it is. Now, what does your school brand bring to mind when people see yours? So why does it matter to have a strong brand? Everything you say, do, and create affects your brand in some way. The words in a press release, your school mascot and fight song, the buildings on campus, the font, shapes, and patterns in your logo. Even the way your school smells affects the way people perceive your school. Individually, these assets may not seem like much, but collectively, they define who you are. The details really do matter. We had a school come to us for rebranding because our students could choose the school that they went to. They were the oldest school in the area, and less students were starting to enroll there. They wanted to go to the newer school down the block. The Booster Club realized a new updated mascot and logos could help, which it did. And their updated logos and mascots were enhanced, and their campus had new signage everywhere, and it created a new excitement in the community, which actually saved the school. We commissioned the Harris Polling Group, a nationally renowned marketing firm, to conduct a nationwide poll on the impact school spirit has within schools. 1,000 school administrators, parents, and students were surveyed, and here's what we found. 92% felt that high school spirit is tied to high student achievement. Students with higher school spirit have higher GPAs than low school spirit. 91% said students with school spirit are more confident, and 90% said students with school spirit are more likely to be leaders. Over the years, we've personally witnessed how branding can transform campuses and help raise school spirit. So why do schools need identity branding or changes in the mascot and logos? We found 6 reasons why schools come to get their branding changed. One is they have low school spirit and lack of school pride. We've worked with over thousands of schools to see this quite often. One example is Gibbs High School in Florida. We created a new mascot and logos for them. We also helped them with the consistency of their colors. When they debuted that brand across the campus, it changed that school. There was a new pride. The staff jumped on board with the spirit and elevated it. The principal said they saw an increase in participation in sports and clubs, attendance and events, and even more, their school attendance and graduation rate went up. We see this numerous times with different schools over and over again, and it's so exciting for us to be a part of this and to see this happen. One of the most common reasons why schools must rebrand is they're using a professional team or university logo, and they don't realize they're using this trademark logo that could potentially have legal ramifications. We get schools come to us quite often that receive cease and desist letters for the logos they're using and even the initial. The first thought may be, really, will a huge organization really care if we use this logo? And the answer is yes. These multi-million-dollar enterprises of pro sports and colleges have spent a lot of money in the development and marketing of that trademarked and copyrighted logo. They don't want anyone to weaken their brand, and they don't want schools to make money off their brand. And as educators, we have an obligation to set a good moral and ethical example. So why not create something that really belongs to you, that the students and community feel ownership of? Here's an example of a mascot we created for someone that had an infringed logo. Now, one tip I want to tell you, if you don't go through VIP branding, make sure that you're getting a unique mascot. We do have schools that come to us that say that they purchased a mascot from somebody else and they wanted us to add some, lettering or accessories to it. And we look at that and we have to tell them that, no, what you got was, Los Angeles Ram, Mizzou Tiger, you name it, different mascots that they've had from other places, and they've paid for this branding. So just be careful. The cheapest route may not always be the best in the long run, because you certainly don't want to put something on your basketball court, football field, or signage around your school to just be told that it's infringed and you have to replace it. BSN and Varsity Brands have a new school program that specializes in assisting schools from groundbreaking and also consolidations, which is 2 or more schools coming together. With both of these situations, they always need a new brand because they don't have any. We find these are done early in the process, even before the school's ground is broken for construction. Some mascots have sparked conversation within the country of whether or not their branding is insensitive, disrespectful, or derogatory. A negative or disrespectful brand affects the school as well as others' perception outside the school. We understand there's a lot of history, emotion, alumni, and differing opinions when thinking about changing your mascot completely. If you're finding your school in this situation, it's important to implement a branding solution with a company that understands, is patient, and can help guide the process. A very common reason we get called is because a school is going through an identity crisis and needs help with a consistent brand. For example, this school brand may have started with one eagle, but over time became a flock of eagles. If someone does not like the logo they're using, they just add another one that they found on the internet and they like. Right there, the school brand is weakened. And if you ask the students who their mascot is, they may not even be able to pick one out of these 6. You don't see the University of Texas with 8 different Longhorns, and you don't see Oregon with different O's. You need one iconic mascot, just like colleges or pro teams. You don't need it forward-facing and side-facing and leaping, just one iconic mascot. When you think of your favorite college or pro team, their one mascot or initials most likely come to mind. Create one strong brand. The final reason for rebranding is to refresh the mascot and logos. You can see the before on the left-hand side, and it just needed a little bit of updating. Sometimes school art files get lost over time, or the images get pixelated or blurry. A brand refresh may be what is needed to give you a new, clean, professional look. With VIP branding, we actually create a password-protected brand locker where each image is saved so the files can never be lost and will remain high quality. Getting a brand refresh can also give it a collegiate look to help monetize it and rally the school. You want your students and faculty wearing your school logo, just like UCF. Here's the mascot evolution of University of Kansas. If the first mascot never changed, would they still sell a lot of merchandise to students now? Would it create that brand pride and spirit? Also, look at the last two mascots on the right. The only difference are the initials. We're finding that the mascot and the initials are the most important aspect in a branding for a school. To promote a consistent brand and deploy it, you need everyone using the same colors and logos, but it takes clear communication from the top down because you may have many people managing websites, social media, buying apparel, doing the student store, etc. When someone goes to your website or sees you on social media, they should be able to tell what your mascot, logos, and colors are. If you're navy blue, your website shouldn't be royal blue. If you're Kelly green, it shouldn't be dark green. The attention to fine details like that will help strengthen your brand. Keeping it strong with the use of a brand guide to make sure everyone uses it correctly is also really important.
Put the logos on uniforms, on all the teams, helmets, hats, fan apparel. Give your campus the university feel by showcasing the logos across the campus with windscreen to transform your stadium and press box. Avenue banners on all the poles in front of the school and by the fields. Flags, wall pads, media backdrops, rugs, furniture, pop-up tents, court chairs, equipment with the logos on it, and there's so much more. There are so many items you can put your logo on to enhance your campus and showcase your branding. Show people they came to your campus. They're in your house. Some suggestions that we found over time is use your school staff to come up with creative ways to use your branding. Get the faculty involved in some ideas. They'll be more than happy to help, and then you also get buy-in with the brand that you're trying to debut. If you have a new mascot or logos, some schools have actually done like a sneak peek on social media where they'll show the eye of the mascot, and then they'll show the ear of the mascot, and they'll show like little pieces until finally, bam, you get the full mascot on social media. So it's a fun way that they can do that. They've also used people to create media, videos, things like that. It's really fun. Others held a special pep rally with the unveiling. They invited local media. They do press releases. Build it up in your community and your school. And also build the ultimate game day experience with color days, apparel to buy, decals for the cars. Just showcase it everywhere you can. And communication and marketing is a big key. Make sure all of your events are advertised to the student body and put the logo on it. Use the colors. Bring this effort to events all across the campus. Another ways to get students involved is have the art department create t-shirt designs using your logos. Have the business class develop a social media plan. Have the marketing class promote a sideline store or My Team Shop to sell van gear. Find ways to increase the brand exposure while getting other people involved.
Now let's talk about showcasing your brand. Here's a short video featuring 3 schools with fundamental branded products every school can use. Media backdrops, tablecloths, rugs, etc. Also, the decals you'll see are DIY and the school installed them themselves. Easy and makes a big impact. Now let's talk about other areas on campus that need branding. Remember this press box from before? It's easy to transform with your logos and colors. It's simple with a vinyl banner or windscreen.
I can tell you the BSN Sports Campus branding will help your money go further with the products that they have. In fact, your sales pro can put together a free customized catalog showing your actual mascot, logos, and colors on what I personally feel are the key products to easily show your brand on campus, and they're all self-installed.
When I drive by schools, I like to look and see if I know who they are, what their colors and mascots are from what I can see from the outside. Would I be excited to park there and walk in campus every single day? Would I be proud of how my school looks and the brand we have? I think if I park at a school where there's no signage around, I'm just going to school where maybe we're the wolves. But if I park in a parking lot where there's signage around me telling me we are the wolves, then I feel like I'm part of something bigger. I'm part of a team. I'm part of a wolf pack, together learning, together striving, together competing as a team. I think of three areas when I focus on campus branding and the facility side of that visually. Outside, this is where your community, your parents, and students will see every day. So what do you see when you drive around your campus? To inside, this is where your students spend the majority of their time. Hallways, classrooms, locker rooms, stairwells, and then game day and events. What can you do to showcase your brand at school or athletic events, home or away?
So for outside, this is the number one item I suggest to showcase your branding is avenue banners. It's easy and visible to everyone that comes on your campus or drives by. You can use them in the areas most people congregate, in the quad areas or athletic fields. It's a great solution and a great addition. Enhance the front of your school with feather flags, showing your brand. Or put them on the press box on each of the ends. It looks great. Even put these on the back of your bleachers. BSN now offers easy self-installed precision cut decals. These are available in single-sided for walls or doors and double-sided for glass where the image is shown on both sides. This is perfect for all those glass entrances of the doors to the gym, auditorium, or offices. Inside, you can place the mascot or the initials in the locker room, which is great to motivate those athletes and spice up that locker room area that can sometimes look so drab. Use the precision cut decals on doors across the school. And this image on the right is the perfect location of just a blank area that's a smooth wall to splash that brand that people can see. Even place a 3-foot decal on blank walls or hallways or stairwells. They can add so much and they're easy to install. A media backdrop and tablecloth are a must-have for signing days. Look professional and celebrate the accomplishments of your students and athletes. It also makes an instant upgrade to an open house, registration, graduation, photo op, or any event. Then pop-up tents for events, track meets, or around the pool. At swim meets and track playoffs, I saw numerous pop-up tents for teams. Many were just plain white, but the teams that looked more together and professional were the ones that had custom tents like this. It's worth the upgrade to go from white to something that looks like this. Having rugs at the entrances of schools, gyms, auditoriums, or offices is also a simple way to showcase your brand. Or longer rugs for under court chairs or large entrances. Outside on your fields, vinyl banners and windscreens can help enhance your brand exposure. Yeah, you could do paper posters that would last one game, but the investment and professionalism are worth the upgrade to do something that looks as amazing as this. Windscreen on the press box and fences are also a great addition. The visitors, just imagine, they sit across your field through a whole football game or track meet or events, and they have to stare at your brand the whole entire time. Then if you have a big project for new schools, buildings, or complete campus makeover, BSN sales pros and the BSN construction team can help you with professionally installed items like scoreboards, wall or window signage, or you can take a room like this and make it look like this with branding on the walls and custom furniture. We help thousands of schools every year with logos and branding products. And here are some simple ways for you to get started. Build a focus group of key decision makers, athletic director, principal, ASB director, different people that you feel that key decision makers that can help envision what the campus should look like. And then discuss that vision of your future campus and come up with a timeline. Is it a 1-year plan, 2-year plan, or are there certain areas that need immediate improvement now? Some of the products BSN offers are available in 2 weeks. Well, of course, the scoreboard and things like that will take longer, but there's ways to do things quickly. Next, establish your budget to bring your vision to life. And you may need fundraising. What kind of fundraising campaigns do you need to make this possible? And then enhance or modernize your brand mascot, initials, or logos if you needed, because you're going to need that for the signage that's around your campus.
We've created a couple checklists that we'll send you after this webinar. They'll help you evaluate your mascot, logos, and prioritize the best locations on campus to brand with signage, and a checklist for you to walk through your campus.
So when your school's ready, our branding teams would be ready for you too. We have solutions and experience to make your vision successful. VIP Branding is powered by Varsity Brands, which is a team of companies that support you for all your athletics, cheer, band, graduation, and yearbook needs. And our mission is to elevate the student experience. Whether you're in elementary, middle, or high school, a strong brand on your campus is key to making all of this possible. Thank you so much for joining us today on this webinar, and I hope this information and these next steps were helpful and inspirational for you.